Around a year ago, I had the idea to try and find something pretty insane. A tall stack of chest minecarts, generating naturally, one on top of another. Since then, I've never gotten around to working on this. To be frank, the project scared me. All solutions I could think of felt like dead ends. Luckily, I've recently had the opportunity to ask Dylan DC14, the seed-finding goat himself, for help. So today, I'll tell you the story of how we found the tallest known stack of chest minecarts in the game. Let's get straight into it. To get a tall stack of chest minecarts, we'll need two things. A bunch of mineshaft corridors that generate several chest minecarts in a straight column, and something that removes the solid blocks in that column and makes the minecarts fall down. The main reason why this is so difficult to achieve is that mineshaft corridors will only try to generate chests in a couple of predetermined spots, and only if the block below is solid. Each spot has a mere 1% chance of generating the chest. On top of that, it's really rare for a mineshaft to generate multiple corridors stacked vertically in the first place. All of that makes simple brute force searches way too slow to find anything special. We started brainstorming ideas for how we could speed things up. After discussing our options and running some tests, we settled for the following plan. Firstly, to make the chests fall on top of each other, we'd use a trial chamber structure, or more specifically, the intersection free piece, which contains some really tall air columns ideal for our purpose. Secondly, to get a column of potential chests, we'd use a single mineshaft. That one mineshaft would generate 8 potential chest positions inside the future trial chamber's intersection piece. Finally, let's take a look at the binary representation of Minecraft seeds. The previous two requirements depend only on the lower 48 bits of the world seed, but Minecraft seeds are 64 bits long, and chest generation depends on every single bit. This means we'll be able to check all 65,000 possible values of the 16 upper bits in hopes of getting at least 6 out of the 8 potential chests to spawn. Shortly after we planned everything, Dylan began work on finding a Carver seed that would generate a suitable mineshaft. Carver seeds are numbers calculated per chunk using the world seed and the chunk's coordinates. They determine the layouts of all structures originating in the chunk, including mineshafts. Dylan's code scanned mineshaft layouts derived from different Carver seeds, looking for columns of multiple potential chests. He ran it for a couple of hours on a powerful, rented CPU, and found several viable results. One of the Carver seeds seemed to be exactly what we needed. The generated mineshaft had a column of 8 potential chests, crammed really close together, and all of them would easily fit inside the intersection piece. With that completed, I went ahead and generated some code that would let us count how many column chests actually spawn for a given world seed. And while it may look absolutely atrocious, this is the essence of what our chunk has to do to try placing all the chests that are part of the column. After confirming that the code worked, it was time to put it all together. The main program will use a process called Carver seed reversal to find world seeds that generate the exact mineshaft layout found by Dylan anywhere in a given area of chunks. For each such seed, the code will check whether a nearby trial chamber structure would place the required intersection piece. If that's the case, it will use the chest counting abomination to see if any of the 65,000 upper bit variants are lucky enough to place at least 6 out of 8 chests. Coding the main program went just fine. But then, disaster. It turned out the code was so slow that we'd need to run it for multiple days or even weeks on a fast rented machine for a chance to get results. To try and avoid spending hundreds of dollars, we decided it was time for a plan B. Instead of pushing for a mineshaft layout with a column of 8 potential chests, we chose a layout with 7 chests. In itself, that's hardly an upgrade. But now, if a trial chamber structure spawns in the same chunk as the mineshaft, it's guaranteed to generate the air blocks we need. Essentially, the Carver seed is now responsible for the layouts of 2 structures instead of 1. After adjusting the code to use the new chunk, and dealing with some absolutely ridiculous bugs, the main program was back up and working as expected, so we were ready to run it on a larger scale. For a couple of days, Dylan was running the code on rented computers. He checked a grand total of 4 billion chunk coordinates across all Minecraft worlds, and got 2 results, but they were both broken due to unlucky cave generation. After that we agreed that I would run the next 4 billion coordinates, so I rented a machine, set it up, and went to sleep. I woke up the next morning to see if we got any results. By sheer luck, we got this result within just the next 500 million coordinates, so the search took 4.5 billion quartz in total. It's really hard to express how rewarding it was to see this project come to a close over a year after I first came up with the idea. If you want to experience the seed yourself, check out the video description, where you'll also find a link to all the code we used. Even though checking 4.5 billion coordinates across all worlds sounds impressive, that's still a small part of the over 14 trillion quartz within the world border. So somewhere out there likely exists a seed that has 7 or even 8 stacked chest minecarts. For now though, that remains outside our reach. I cannot thank Dylan DC14 enough for his help in making this idea and video a reality. In case you didn't know, Dylan posts really cool seed finding videos on his YouTube channel, and you should definitely subscribe to him so that you don't miss his finds. I'd also like to thank Neil, Captain Wutax, Matthew Bolan, Exception, Cubitect, and all other contributors who helped create these seed finding tools. Last but not least, I'd like to thank you for watching the video. Have a good one.